everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio and welcome to Catalog Kickoff Day. It's the first day that I can open these books up and show you the inside. So before I get going, if you do not have a catalog and you're in the US and you don't have a demonstrator, I always send out the first copy to you free. If you have purchased from me since last June, then you should have gotten one. If you should have gotten one from me and you don't have it, I mailed them in the middle-ish of December. You should have them way by now. So if you thought you were going to get one from me and you don't have it yet, let me know and I'll check the tracking or make sure that you were on the spreadsheet somewhere because I had several different spreadsheets. All of you would have gotten one. If it's been a minute since you ordered from me, then you can pay the shipping. It's about $5.95. The post office is not kind to us these days, but I'm happy to send you one that way as well. And then you can take that off your first purchase if you make it within 30 days. Let's get going through this. First thing I want to do is tell you my specials for the month. So let's do all month. If you spend $50 with me on my website, or you can always call or email me your orders too, but it means that you've placed an order. It doesn't mean that you got something as part of club or something as part of a class, which I do have some of those coming up. Or, you know, you were in try it, like class fees, class purchases, those are separate. This means that you placed an actual order. And when I say the amounts, it is for the amount of merchandise. It doesn't include shipping and handling and tax. If you spend $50 this month, you are going to get the Milky Dots. They're so pretty. There's 4 different colors, 2 different sizes. Really, really pretty. That is a $50. And, you know, with $50, you're going to get a celebration choice too. So why are you not going to spend $50? There's no reason to spend under $50. Also at $50, you get my VIP video project number 1. Every month I do 2. In December, I kind of switched it up. I'm going back to regular for January. We may see in February. I may switch it up again, may not. In a month when I have a big class, which I do for my triad class, I'm just going to leave it as is. That means at $50, you will get the VIP Video Project 1. When I ship your thank you gifts out, you have to use the host code. Then at the end of the month, I use the host code and I go get all your free stuff. I put you all in together as one order. You won't get your stuff mailed to you until the beginning of February. I usually get this stuff to me around between the 5th, the 8th. I always have it in the mail as humanly possible as I can the 10th of the following month. Then you will get your VIP video. You spend $5 from it, you will get the VIP video links. If you spend $50, with this will come the supplies to follow along. And those are private videos only for those of you who purchase, or people on my team, they get to see them as well. If you spend $125, you get that. And then you also get the Night of Navy ribbon, bordered ribbon. It's very pretty. And you'll get the second VIP video project. So you get the materials to follow along with both. Then just for catalog kickoff, only January 5th, January 6th, and then no more, no extensions. So don't be coming to me on the 7th saying you missed it. If you spend $100, I'm going to send you 10 cards out of my stash. You can use them for inspiration. You can use them to give to other people. There is the disclaimer that some of them, you know, I use them for my customers to see. I use them in samples in my videos. So sometimes they're not in absolutely pristine condition, but when you get 10, more than half of them will be. And I hope that all of them are, but sometimes, you know, you might have to stick something back on or something. They're not guaranteed to be pristine. They're not cards that I would sell. Some of them are. It just kind of depends on your luck of the 10 that you get. So that's at $100 just for January 5th and 6th. Then also at $225, you're going to get this perfectly detailed. I love this, and a tutorial has gone up today on how to use it. So pretty and very unique, and that's why I wanted to have it as my $225 gift. So at $225, you get all that stuff, and you would get a lot of stuff free from Stampin' Up! As well. And we will look at that now. Let's start with the celebration because I really want to make sure that you know this starts today, but it ends on February 28th. This is the only celebration we will have this year. They have done away with having one in the summer. We've gotten kind of spoiled with having 2, but the summer one wasn't doing as well as the one does in the winter. I guess in the winter we don't have anything better to do than stamp. This is the last day that you can get it. It is while supplies last. Usually the stamps last longer than the paper. If anything runs out, it's consumable. Stampin' Up! Does make the stamp, so it's easier for them to control that. But I did want to make sure that you know Some of the stuff in here coordinates with some of the stuff in here, and this one goes till the end of April, which is also shorter than it's been in the past. There's different ways to earn, so we'll go over that. This is the Adorable Owls. Cute little stamp set. Those of you that are in Card Club, when you get the bundle, you get to pick a Sale-A-Bration stamp set free that will ship with your Card Club. So any of the $50 stamp sets. I love him. He just makes you happy. I have the carrot. I have not used it. When I was putting the samples in here, I'm like, oh, I have that, I have that, I have that, I have that. And, you know, I took 2 weeks off in December. And when you do that, a lot of the stuff that you got just sat there in a little stack. I have the carrots. You will see something with them soon. I also like them. They're very different. Then this is my favorite. It's the Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. Now, those of you in Try It, this will not be a project because, I used it in 2 other ways. Everybody in Card Club in January will get a 6x6, 2 of each of the patterns in here. So it's a 1/4 of a paper packet, and that's just a bonus. I was going to try to have it tie in with the projects. It was too much brain power, so I stopped. You'll just get it, and there's lots of fun things with you that you can do with it. Then the other reason I didn't include it is because this was my thank you gift. It was a free card class for December, and you all got that. So if you purchased from me from the 19th to January 3rd, this was your thank you gift, along with some other things as well. Really pretty paper, and you can see it does match the Dainty Flowers stamp set, which we will get to in the other catalog. This is why I want you to pay close attention that this paper is only in the catalog to the 28th, so you can put the Dainty Flowers on your wish list, your shopping list for later and get those through April, but don't think in March you're going to order the Dainty Flowers stamp set and get the matching paper because it will be gone. It always happens every time that we have an overlap like this. That happens. I have Seeing Support. I have Day at the Farm. I have the stamps. I will use them with the paper. This will be in Try It. Then this one I love. This is probably my second favorite. It is the Fragrant Flowers and bundle, and then it goes with the Favored Flowers paper. This tutorial is up. I think 99% of the cards I'm going to show you, just go back to my channel if you want to see them because they are up there. This is the Stamps and Dies with this really pretty winter colored flowers. I love to do a nice winter palette when I do flowers this time of year. That's free with for $50. I have this free with $50. Again, love it, just haven't had time to use it. And this one's free with $100. And it's because there's so many in here and because it's a distinctive stamp set. This one here is up there. This is actually the alternate for December's Card Club. And some of you, when if you're in my Card Club and you finish your 3 projects before the next month goes out and you send me the picture of the 3 of them, we get supplies for 6, but they only have to do 3. Then they all go, I write their names down. I have a nice little long list going from when I answered all my emails earlier this week. But then I just randomly pull some names. I don't keep track, so they could win every month. But then I just throw in some embellishments. And I noticed that this card, a lot of you did with something else, because obviously you don't have the Beautifully Happy yet, really pretty. Then this is my daughter's, which I think is funny. She came to a demonstrator event. She is a demonstrator. These were the supplies that I gave her to make another project. But, you know, sometimes when you're in your 20s, you don't want to do everything your mom does. So she literally did an alternate. It was one of these. It was one of these. You can see the full paper, and she just did her own alternate version. I've trained her well. And that's the Beautifully Happy. It's a really pretty stamp set. That's free with $100. Then this pack of paper here, I have it. I may have used it. Some of this stuff, you know, I mush things together. Humongous, humongous, humongous. Because you may say, why is this free with $100 and not $50 like the others? It's 48 sheets. I think all of them are 12 by 12 this year. Then let's look at this one, the Scenic Garden. If you host, so if you want to grab orders from your friends and get them, put them all together and turn them in at once, or if you just have a large order and you want to get this, then it is free. I think it's with 300. It doesn't say. It was a misprint that it didn't say. I'm 99% certain it's 300. It will be in my email, which I haven't made yet. That's why I don't know. But just one large order, you will get that. And it will be in my January 5th email, the amount. Then my very favorite thing is if you would like to join my Beautiful Images demonstrator team, then you can get this little thing here free. If you don't like the blue one, it's the Boho Blue Mini, and I've used it in a couple of videos recently. You can get the white one, or if you already have a mini machine, you can just get more merchandise for less money as part of Sale-A-Bration. I will have all of the details on how to do that and the perks of being on my team in my email and on my website. That is Sale-A-Bration. Again, only good through the end of February, but everything in it's free. Best price point, right? Now let's do this. When we were at Onstage, we met the Stampin' Up! Employee who designed this catalog. She was super proud of it. I presented at Onstage, and this was the suite that I used. So when we go through with the samples, I have far more of that than I have of anything else. Really pretty. Always take some time to look at the samples in the catalog. If you look at our annual catalog, those are a little bit more simple. Those are designed that anybody can do. And then when we have our mini catalogs out, they're a step up. So you may notice that these are not just simple, they're not hard, but they're not just Stampin' Color or Stampin' Punch. These are really pretty. You can see how they took the embossing folder and then ran through the hexagons on it. And those are part of, this is a super sweet. So it had 2 stamp sets. It's part of the saying stamp set. This one over here, I love this card. This, the set has a giant die. It's, you know, one of the full card front size. They did one piece of the designer series paper, flipped it over, and then mounted it on another. Really pretty. And I love the purple. We haven't had a purple catalog for a while. Again, here is that suite. I'm trying to decide. It will be in my email, hopefully, what my February class will be, because I know that helps some of you when you place your orders to know whether or not you want to get that or you want to hold off till you can get a free class with it. It may be this. And I'm leaning more towards it than I was because, you know, when you work with something, and I had to work with it a lot, and then I had to present with it, and I was kind of done. I was like done with this. So at the time I was like, there's no way I'm doing a class with that. I could kind of go back to it a little bit now. Some of the things that you might notice in here, and I will try to find one when I can. This will be coming up. This is a really, 99% of the time I don't get Valentine's ones because I feel like we're already to January 5th and I have so much to do getting Card Club and my Try It class out that Valentine's kind of gets by the wayside. I love this one. I love the punch. I love the stamps. Really pretty. Ribbon, super pretty. I didn't get this paper because it's gingham and I got all of the other paper. Color combination is super on trend, and then the embellishments are really pretty. So there will be a sample with that coming up. I also didn't get this one, and then, you know, all my demonstrator friends keep posting fabulous pictures with it. I'm trying to find, I don't remember what their first one is. This was Card Club, and then I changed it. So if you love that and you're in Card Club, it was, and then I changed it for the By the Bay. Here is my suite. So this is the Fancy Flora. You can see it has 2 stamp sets. We'll flip over in a second and look at them. 2 dies. The shimmer paper, which if you watched my earlier videos, the shimmer paper they gave us at Onstage is not the shimmer paper that is now for sale. The shimmer paper that's now for sale is much more shimmery and less thick. So it is what it is. The shimmer paper on here is not. It would be prettier if I'd used that. This is gorgeous. This is in Card Club this time. And then the embellishments. So you'll get to see a bunch of this. Here is the old shimmer paper. The new is much more shimmery. I'll show it to you when we get to a card that I used it on. And it was only recently that somebody discovered it that also presented. Otherwise, I had 2 packages of this and I thought I was good, but I had ordered one. It's just a really, this is the old shimmer. The new one's just shimmerier than that is. Well, here, they're so scrap. So you can see it's just sparklier. And this was super hard even to cut in a paper cutter. This is much more normal texture. So if you saw me present it on stage and I was like, this is really, really hard. And then you went to use it and you're like, it's not as hard as she made it seem. It's because that is different paper. The green is the closest color that it was. You can see this large die here. That is these pieces of this, and I just ran it through once with this gold, and then I kept cutting it apart. Here's more of it on this card, and I just used all the little big pieces. This, if you saw my last couple of videos, that's why I included this ribbon in Card Club, so we'd be able to do that with it. There's another one. And a lot of my cards, you can see they have things where they were on the board at Onstage. Like, I like my words to go a different way, and then I would come and they would, I'm sure whoever stuck them up was like, she did her card backwards. I like mine to be a little different. And you know, if you're giving it to somebody and they open it, they'll know because of how you signed it, which direction it's supposed to go. This paper is 6 by 6. It says it has, I don't know, this many colors. Has almost, it feels like it has all the colors. Lots and lots of colors. It's really pretty. It's kind of, something's fallen off of this one. When the things get on the board at a demonstrator event, they see better days, but something has fallen off. I would say it was the ribbon. This may be my favorite one. And this shimmer is way different, and I used it on the lightning bug card, which I'll show you in a minute. This one's super simple. Really pretty. And there's two things that I love about the stamp sets and the dies. This one here, even if you don't get the words, but I love, here's to beautiful beginnings and happily ever afters. I love that. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. Grateful for the everyday magic of you. Some kind of different things that than what we normally have. I always like to have some alternate sentiments that just aren't straight up happy birthday or happy wedding day. But the dies, fabulous. They're all tags and labels, and there's a lot of them. There are 12. So 3 of them add holes or designs. And then over here, like I said, I love this background one. It is really, really pretty. So that's the fancy Flora. Here's where I use the gold shimmer paper that is not. This is Lighting the Way. Here we go. This one, there are several stamp sets in here. First off, if it's called Lighting the Way, the stamp set, the dies are also called Lighting the Way. This is the first year that the stamps and the dies have matched. In the past, the dies always had a little bit of a twist of the name, and it would be hard sometimes to match them back together. Now, if it's the stamps, it's also the dies. Super easy to remember. But then when you go to order, and if you've already made your shopping list, you'll want to go back and check it. Like this one, you can pick, do you want cling or photopolymer? So you can get them on the red rubber or you can get them clear. 2 different order numbers and 2 different price, the same price. But if you just went with this one, you're going to get photopolymer even if and then if you saw me use it in cling, I don't know which one I have of it, you may be like, what happened? But you need to make sure if there's 2 numbers that you get the C for the cling or the P for the photopolymer, which is the one that's your choice. It's not all the stamp sets, it's a few. But for the ones that are like that, you'll want to make sure that you pay attention. This video is up. Then here again, this is the one that goes with the paper. There's little pieces in here, and normally I stick Post-it notes in here, and I didn't. This one is By the Bay. This is Card Club this month. The stamps, the dies, those are alternates, the paper, the pearls, and then back to that pool party ribbon, because you can see here I've used it shreddy like I did it on stage. This was my alternate. Again, this is the same supplies. I just used a different piece of designer series paper, exact same supplies, and then I only switched this up. This is the perfectly detailed that you can get free January 5th and 6th from me if you spend $225 or more in merchandise before shipping and handling and tax. I don't have this one. That I was going through here and I was like, oh, this was one of the ones that really got left off my list. And I think it is, no, it's not. And now when I see it, I'm like, why didn't you order that? Not that it even matters. Like I said, I haven't had time to stamp with 2/3 of what I've already bought. Silly Goose, it is silly. Sending gaggles of good wishes. A silly goose told me it's your birthday. The silly goose forgot. Sending a big honkin' thanks. Goosebumps. Cute little set. I love when there's just a standalone little set. You can get that for your grandkids. Some backgrounds. Another of the reversibles. Now, I feel like I've used this. It's where the Milky Dots and the navy ribbon are. Maybe I started a card and didn't finish it. Maybe I did and never posted it. I don't know, because I feel like I've used it. I know that I ran my dice through at least. This is, again, another of the super huge suites. Always remember, if you want everything that's in a suite, and assuming none of it's on back order, you can always order this over here, and then you don't have to type in all those numbers. So they get me all the time because I'm a tad bit lazy. If I can order that, I'll just get it all. But it's got this that has really pretty dies. And I know, maybe I just put it on a different card. I know I used the labels. And then this one is a punch one. Punch ones will never be in club. I've had a couple of you ask, you know, have you ever thought of this one? The punches are just too heavy. I would spend $5 more on every single package to mail the punch. And I'm not willing to do that. So we won't ever use a punching club. But since that one has both, I might do one of them. I do want to point out right here, like these little enamel dots, the first time I placed an order, I didn't get them because they're hidden. They're not part of a suite. They're just kind of up there. You have to make sure you look at all the little nooks and crannies of all of this stuff. And here are the, oh no, it's not the page. The dragonfly trinkets are also not part of a suite. And I didn't, those are the two things I didn't get the first time. This is a really fun little set, especially if you like plants. It reminds me of my daughter. She's way into succulents. I have more than her probably. She has bigger ones. But whatever reason, I think of 20-year-olds and succulents. And you know, those girls look like they're in their 20s. This one's fun. I haven't got it yet. But the little conversation bubbles are fun. Now let's look at the gnomes. I didn't get the gnomes, but if you have the gnome dies from the holiday catalog, then these are the same dies. So you don't need to purchase the dies again. You can get the dies on the website if you didn't get them. And that way you can have them. But if you already have the dies from the holiday, then you don't need to order them with that. So glad that we finally have a St. Patrick's Day. I always make St. Patrick's Day cards. It's one of my favorite holidays because I like the decorations. I like to get all the green and move from the winter stuff, and that's when it really feels like spring. My family is Irish, and I love Ireland, so that's probably another part of it. I really feel like I made a card with this. I know I've used these. This paper, beautiful. It's a really fun, really pretty, sweet. Maybe not everybody's style, but when you see it used, you don't have to use it so it just looks like it is desert. Then this paper here, love, 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 love this. I have not used it yet. And I also have this stamp set. Haven't used it yet either. Here's some vellum paper, which you might not notice because it kind of disappears on here. I have this. I don't have this one yet because I told myself I wouldn't stamp with everything I bought, and then I really didn't even get close to it. So starting this year, Stampin' Up, like I said, one celebration, and the catalog ends in April. We will start having the annual catalog come out in March. All of the times are condensed because these were kind of overrunning the annual catalog, and it doesn't get as much attention as it should. Then I think it's like every other month-ish, they're going to have some stuff that's online only, which just means you can purchase it, and I will have it, and I will show it to you. It won't be in a catalog, which will kind of help them with the supply chain issues that happen nowadays, kind of control things going on back order, kind of have some fresh stuff in there all the time, have some stuff when there isn't a mini or when there isn't another celebration. Here is The Rainy Days Are Better With You. Now, I've had a couple of people tell me that I did that raindrops upside down. It's counterintuitive if you use this folder. If you put the Stampin' Up, then you need to flip your card this way. But you know what? Your cards do not have to be perfect. You can send them to whoever, and then they can be like, oh, she didn't do that perfect. And they'll make you can make them feel better about their stamping. This is an adorable little, the paper has UV coating is what they call it on it. Really pretty. Some fun Easter things. These words, this is one of the ones that's clean photopolymer. I did remember this one. And then it has the little punch that can make it like washi. I love this Easter set. Always love a good Easter set. This is the stamps and dies that go with that celebration paper. And then here I used the dies to just kind of 3D the paper. This was a really easy card. These are the embellishments from the desert, whatever that sweet's called, but those are those. Maybe that's why I think I used that. This is very pretty. This one, I love the colors. Can't wait to play with it. I did get it out the other day. I picked out 3 to try to decide what to use. I didn't get the thistles. I love thistles. And you know, like I said, we're going to Scotland and England in May. I lived in Scotland, and every time I see them, I'm like, why did you not get the thistles? I would have used them, I think, if I'd gotten them. Here is the map, the Watercolor World map. And then I do have these as well. A great set of dies. So there's no stamps. It's just the dies. Great size. You'll be able to put names or whatever you want of a holiday. If you scrapbook, they'll be fabulous for that. I do have these as a free with gift purchase in February, assuming that they're in stock. You know, anytime the way our world is now, that can become an issue. This is the framed florets bundle. It was our card club, I think in November. It was a special release, kind of what they're going to do in the future, but in the future it won't show up again in the catalog, which is what they've done now. If you didn't get it then, you can get it now. It doesn't have the paper any longer, but here are a couple of, see, these things that they stuck on here for on stage are tearing all of my other stuff up, but they stuck them on. We didn't do it. Stampin' Up! Did. They're hard to get off. It's going to tear my cardstock. But here are two. If you went to our indie event, these are the projects that I did as part of my indie event during On Stage. We are thinking that we will have another event in March. So if you want to come to a live event, it may be just demonstrators and maybe all stampers. We haven't got to details yet, but we are looking at March. But these are the projects from that I did, because this was the stamp set that we used, or I used. And those do not have tutorials. Maybe the gray one does. The other one doesn't. And here's another one of the ones that came out earlier. So this is the Warm Welcome Bundle. It was maybe out in October. Super cute little set. The door's fun. And I do have other cards. I made 2 other cards with this. I have no idea, because it was, October. Long time ago. Then I wanted to make sure that you noticed these. This is the blending brush holder. I have too much stuff on my desk now to get it out to show you. I will show you the holder the first time that I use the small blending brushes. They are quite a lot smaller. This is our regular size and this is the new one. If you have the Stampin' Up! Storage system, then this will fit on the top so you can keep your brushes up. But there is definitely, when you get it, again, counterintuitive, if you stick them in the way that you think maybe you should, the whole thing is going to fall over. I thought it was just me, but since then, I've had other people on my team go, why does this not work? So get it out, look at this, and that's the direction it goes. It's not the direction you think. So just want to make you feel okay if you think your holder is broken. I think that's about it. I love this paper. I love that folder. And part of it, I have made samples for my Try It class. So sometimes I'm like, I use that, and that's why. It's because I can't show it to you because it's for a class. If there was something in the holiday catalog that didn't show up on the last chance list, you can still get it. So don't throw away your holiday catalog. Just go to the website. Here's some of the things, but there are more than just that made it. And back here, again, always look another time for the samples, because here is a suite, and then they'll show you more samples. These tend to be, well, the ones in here are a little bit more-ish. Like these are a little bit more-ish. If you go back here, they tend to be a little bit more simple. So if you're looking for another idea with anything that you got, you can look back here. Then you can always get all of the stamps and then all of the dies at a glance. And same with here. And this is where you should go. It's not where I went. I did my first order. I flipped through the catalog. You can see all of the numbers of things that I've ordered, which is a lot. But all of the paper, all of the embellishments, all the ribbons. So you can kind of see them. If you stamp like me, you're a mixer, and I mix everything up. So it doesn't have to stay in its suite. That is everything. If you need a catalog, let me know. If you are not on my email list, you will want to be. That way you'll always know when the new stuff especially comes out, and you'll be able to get the host code so you can get your free stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. I will be Zooming on Catalog Kickoff Day with my card club members. If you joined before, then you're welcome to join the Zoom with us. Otherwise, you can catch it in 3 months when we do it again. But if you need a catalog, have a question, let me know. If I can't answer the phone, if you want to call an order in and I'm Zooming, obviously it'll go to voicemail, but I can pick it up later. If you need my phone number, then let me know, and I'm happy to give that to you as well. Have a great one, and I will catch you back here later. Bye.